Okay. So did you? Well, I guess we'll just start from scratch for purposes of getting back into it.
Yeah, that'd probably be best.
Okay. So Jubei knocks on your door. Hello, Heleni. Are you available for a chat?
You hear like rustling and like movement in her room, um, and then the door opens. Hello, Lord Jubei. What is it that I can do for you?
Uh, I'm glad to see you are feeling better. I was hoping to have a discussion with you, if it was all right with you. I was hoping to uh, pick your mind about, entering the tournament and all that we have done.
Uh, sure.
Very good. Uh, he'll kind of turn to, oh, well, it seems to be early in the morning. I was actually about to go out and do some training. If you wish to accompany me, we can discuss our conversation during that, if you do not mind.
Um, yes, that would be lovely actually. If you would just give me a moment to get my gear ready.
Oh, of course. He gives you a Japanese bow and stands up and wait, waits for you to close the door and waits for you so you can get yourself together.
And she does just that, and it would be like a bit over a minute, and she comes out with her like leather like tunic and attachments and a like harness for her weapons on.
I see you are fully prepared for yourself. I have to admit, when I watched you battle earlier, it was quite the feat. I would think if luck was just a little bit more on your side, you would have won that competition open-handedly.
She kind of looks slightly taken aback and kind of like blushes a little bit. Um, I don't know if it was so much more luck, more that it was a mistake that I made that caused us that fight.
Oh, really? He says, you have a bit of a strategical mind when it comes to combat like that as well.
Mm, it's more something that I need to learn, but a little bit, yes. I
Oh,
need to improve my teamwork, and I feel like me rushing in at the end and not taking Twin into account and working with him is what caused me that fight. Caused us that fight.
I do understand. Working as a unit is a fundamentally useful but difficult thing to master. It took me many years in my youth to master such techniques as well. But I would like to say, and she kind of says, uh, perhaps if you would not mind, I would not mind testing our skills against each other. Perhaps get a feeling for each other's abilities, if that is amenable to you.
That would be lovely. I don't know if I will do great for you, but I'm sure I can try.
I am sure you will do quite well. And he will take you out to the courtyard where he generally does his combat training. I'll say gets his stuff out, his katana and his shield out, and just kind of the basic jumping jack kind of style equivalency of getting warmed up. Uh,
Helani's just kind of like gonna watch you like awkwardly, kind of like not really sure what to do.
as he cracks his neck, he goes over and looks at you. Goes, well, if you are ready for a bit of opening bouts, I would very much appreciate this ability. As he takes a fighting stance at your time. So if you want, Helene, you can load up your character sheet and we can have a little duel.
My character's off in the corner at the moment on the map. I put her over there.
Don't worry about it. For purposes of this, I don't think it's going to be much of a run around engage fight. It'll just
Yeah,
kind of be
but
counting
I just
blows.
find it really funny. I kind of hope that Nana will look at the map and be like, where the fuck's Helani?
Actually, I kind of realized that too. It's like, where is Helani?
Helani has disappeared.
You were there to rob us blind.
Yeah, that is totally part of my character and all.
In any case, for the sakes of that, I guess we should both roll initiative to see who goes first.
Yes.
Oof, you're gonna go first. Consider you would have to roll in that one, not two. So,
Yeah, I gotta add my charisma and my dex modifiers. So
no. Eventually, I'll be able to add my dex and my intelligence modifier, but that's down the line.
see, I feel like I'm not even gonna be able to hit you.
Go for your two attacks. We'll see.
Helani draws both of her weapons from the harness on her back. With she as well kind of gets into a fighting stance, her long sword out in front and her short sword kind of a bit closer to her. And I guess we can just go from here.
Yep. You take your charge and make your two attacks. Or make your attacks.
I kind of just like looked at my sheet. I was like, "How do I do this again?" And then I was like, "Yeah, I just click the things. That's what you do."
Yeah, you just click on your weapons. The sheet makes it so simple. You hit me
Woo.
for a whopping 22 damage. Damn. It's like, oof! As you just and
Oh,
another
what are these
5
rolls?
damage.
What are these
27
rolls?
damage. You almost bloodied me in one round.
So that was really good rolls. I'm really, I don't. Okay.
That's good. Don't apologize for rolling well. You rolled two
No,
19s.
I didn't expect it.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not you. I could make those miss, but I'm not. Jubei doesn't use magic in duels.
She was like, oh, 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 that was very impressive. Well, I see not. I must not underestimate you and not hold back at all.
And I will open with Jubei's standard opening gambit, and I'm going to smack you in the face with a shield. Oh, jeez. Roll me an acrobatics check. So you just dodge right under my shield like nothing.
Oh, very good. Well then, the strikes then.
And I make two sword attacks. 23 to hit.
I have 15 AC, so
So that hits for 13 damage. And my second strike, 19 for 12. Ooh, good damage rolls. So 25 damage on you.
owie.
Well, you messed me up pretty good too, but
Oh, very good.
as he just cracks you aside with his blade and gets back into a fighting sense and goes,
Your turn.
See, I don't know how to like RP combat stuff. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do or say or think.
roll them, and if you want me to, I can fill it in for you. I write
That
novels
would
for
be
a
nice.
hobby, so action's my forte.
It's more that like I'll see other people do it, and then like over time I'll learn and I'll start doing it myself. But like I haven't really experienced a lot of it because my DM doesn't do it very much. So it's more like I don't know.
Well, fair enough. Make your rolls, and I'll do some descriptions for you. Oh my gosh, you hit me again.
That's okay. I missed with that one.
Almost. Jeez, thank God you didn't have advantage. So this time you come in with your long sword as you come up near me. You come up to you and you cut across my belly. He's like, oh! But just as you come across the short sword, I take my shield and bash it to the side, blocking the second strike. Oh, very good. I take another 14 damage. I am bloodied.
I mean, I am very bloodied.
Yeah, I guess you're a fighter. You're not a hit point sink like me.
Yeah, I've only got 14 HP.
Oof. As Jubei kind of looks back at you, goes, ha, very good. And I will take my sword strike at you. That hits for 11.
Woo! And then if the next one hits, I'm down.
Yeah, Jubei was gonna kind of look at you. It goes, ah, good strike. But let's see how long this lasts. And with my second strike, I'm just gonna knock you prone. So you gotta be a 15 athletics.
I can do acrobatics for that,
Yeah,
right?
acrobatics. Yeah. So as you go to, as he feints you with a sword kick or a sword strike, he goes under and sweeps your legs with his kick, knocking you on your back.
She just let out like kind of like a grunt as she hits the floor.
And Jubei looks and goes, ah, that was a trick my master taught me many years ago. Always useful for disarming opponents.
As he says with a smile. And this, he will go, and he will use his second wind to regain hit points, just in case you crit and knock me out. Oh, goody. I get a total of 8 hit points back. You just got to see him fortify himself as he readies himself for your second strike, which I'm assuming going to stand up first.
Yeah, because that would be disadvantage otherwise.
Yeah.
Not that both my rolls have been terrible. Usually, when I've been rolling so far, it's both of them would have hit anyway. So, but yeah, no. She'd like stand up in a dexterity manner. I don't know how to describe that.
How about this one? Good one phrase. You go up and you actually do the little, you spin on your back and kind of flip yourself up with the force and go back into a classic two sword stance.
Sure.
Uh,
And then I guess I get to slap you again. Oh. And nope.
Oh, this time as you go at this time, Jubei's watching you click carefully, and he takes his first, deflects your first blow with his second with his sword, and then the second one he knocks it to the side with his shield as he looks over and watches. He goes,
ah, very good. You almost had me that time.
and Jubei said, "I'll say with a lock with you locked is just going to go for a headbutt." So I don't have unarmed combat listed, but I will just click on one of my other attacks for
Yeah,
the
just
roll.
the D20. Yeah.
Oh, and I miss you with an 11. So going for the strike, go, whoosh, and you just duck out of the way. Goes, oh, very good. And this time he will go in for like push off and go for like a roundhouse kick. Ooh, and catches you square in the chest for a total of 5 damage.
Yeah. Woo, that's me dead. Well,
What's that? You only...
I just default to dead.
So I knock you back down and you fly back. Goes, oh, perhaps one moment. And he casts Healing Word to bring you back to consciousness.
Yeah, so yeah, if I knocked you out, I would have been like, what do I do now?
To be fair, you probably would have had to nat 20 about twice in a row.
Yeah. I didn't expect to, but it would have also been like, if I did it, it would have been like, I don't have healing capabilities. What do I do?
Generally, we just say you come back to consciousness because we're not fighting to knock each other conscious. As he goes, Jubei will come down with his hand and offer you a hand to pick you back up.
Then she grabs firmly and yeah.
And he lifts you up and goes, "That was very good, Helani. Those blows of yours were very deadly. I'm definitely going to feel that in the morning," he says, rubbing his side where you cracked him across for like mega damage 3 times. If it makes you feel better, you would have beat Davia with those rolls.
Oh, yay! Uh, Storm and I were talking like last night or the night before or something about like if I had to fight Davia, and yeah, it was an interesting talk. It was just like I don't know if I'd want to fight Davia,
well,
but also I feel like I might.
to put it frankly, with the 3 hits you hit me with for 41 damage, would have downed her if she was unable to avoid your attacks.
That's nice.
So that could have downed Davia. So yeah, and plus Davia's AC without like hundreds of dozens of magical enhancements. By the way, your character uses long swords.
A long sword and a short sword.
I take it you don't have the 2 weapon fighting style, or
I don't have the two weapon fighting style. I have because I'd have to multicast to get the fighting.
oh, that's true. I was actually meant the feat though.
But
The
I have the feat, but also my longsword special, so it's got finesse as well.
okay, fair enough. Yeah, Jubei kind of gets up and looks over, and goes,
I have to admit that was quite the battle there, Helani. I admit you are quite capable with those blades.
And she looks down at specifically her longsword. Thank you. I've tried really hard, and I had a really good teacher.
Oh, indeed. I would one day wish to meet such a person as your teacher. I'm sure he could teach me a thing or two as well.
I wish that was possible.
when you say that, Jubei kind of has this uh, sullen look across his face immediately.
Oh, I am sorry. I did not mean to bring up any sort of uncomfortable emotions with you. I do apologize.
It is quite alright. It's something that I find difficult talking about, and I've quite frankly been running away from for a while.
I see. Well, I am still nevertheless glad to have challenged you in such a way. Shame we could not have met during the tournament, but I am glad to see we at least had a bit of a practice with each other. uh, but tell me, Helani, why did you come to this tournament exactly?
I I needed to get stronger, and this was a good opportunity to be able to improve myself and test my limits and see what I can do in a non-consequence environment.
Hmm, I understand.
Jubei's just gonna plop down on the grass and kind of take it easy.
Uh, Let me ask you something, Helani. Did you learn anything from your bout in the tournament, would you say?
I learned that I need to work on my teamwork and work on some of my decision making.
I see. Well,
And he's kind of have this kind of fun smile on his face as he looks up and she goes,
if teamwork is something you wish to improve upon, I do have a proposition for you then.
She just kind of like tilts her head and just like kind of looks at you intrigued.
Well, be blunt, our group needs capable fighters and warriors such as yourself. There are unfortunately dark times ahead of us, and if you would be willing to, I would like to formally invite you to our group as a bit of, how should I say, um, uh, training perhaps in your case, but we could use a warrior such as you in our groups.
What kind of dark times are we talking about?
I see you are not totally aware of the situation. Let me ask you, are you from this country, Helani?
No, I am not. Wait, so would Byford be technically part of the country, or is it technically its own country? Because, like, isn't it attached to the, like, continent, but it's technically its own country? Don't worry. I was getting continent and country mixed up in my own head just then, so yeah, no.
Yeah, you're probably. I think you would be a separate country if you said where you're
Yeah,
from.
I was like, country, that means the entirety of, like, the continent, like, the landmass. I was like, wait, no, that's the continent. And then I was like, yep, it's okay. I understand where my brain got messed up. They both start with C. It's confusing.
Yes, I don't blame you. I screw it up occasionally myself, especially when you have Australia being both.
Yeah, because it's like, it's not really like you don't have to worry about it. It's like, it's the same thing. And then I was like, thinking of, like, yeah.
Yeah, I understand. In any case, Jubei kind of has this thing as
Well, at the moment, this nation is under civil war at the moment. One that could lead to many dark tidings ahead, and one that I fear has a possible darker side to it.
And how is it exactly that I would help?
Well, for starters, you seem to be a capable fighter, one that could definitely assist us in our ability to stop the group known as Cataclysm, a unknown organization that seems bent on causing chaos across our lands. We are not positive what they are after, but we do know for certain that they have begun doing many dark and horrible things. Things that we are sure will not just possibly affect this continent, but the entire world, perhaps. Your strong sword arm and agile abilities, I believe, would be quite essential in our quest to help stop this dark tiding.
I'll consider it.
I would appreciate that very much.
and can give you kind of a stupid, goofy smile that Jubei always gives people.
But in any case, uh, as far as teamwork goes, I could definitely give you a few pointers with that if you would permit me to.
Of course, anything that would help me improve my abilities would be much appreciated.
Well, I notice one thing with your combat. You do move in and strike. Though I did notice perhaps the best way for you to team up with one is to fight with another, perhaps one frontliner like myself. You seem to be agile, able to move in and out of combat, but able to do massive amounts of physical damage. In this way, if one like me was, say, to face off against, well, let us use the opponent you faced in the tournament, Axis is, I would say, I would engage him in battle while you would strike and move out of his range, allowing him to unable to come back at you, but staying engaged with me. This would make your strikes twice as effective and make him frustrated, hopefully making him make a foolish move and trying to uh, move away from me to go after you, leaving him vulnerable to other attacks.
She just, like, ponders this and nods her head, like, slowly.
Of course, too, when you.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for the input. That sounds exactly like something that I should do, but also I don't tend to engage in combat with other people.
I see.
He kind of has a head tilt.
Tell me then, Helani, you wish to get stronger, but is there a purpose for this, or is it merely for the sake of strength?
She looks away. There is a purpose. I want to say revenge, I guess.
Once again, you see a very, very kind of solemn, understanding look cross Jubei's face.
That is a purpose I understand all too well.
And as he says that, you'll notice that he starts scratching his right arm.
I mean, she's looking away, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, if you're looking away.
It, it is something I think you and I may have a bit in common with then, Helani.
We may have it in common, but I doubt it's also the same.
I would very much hope it is not. For your sake is perhaps as well as my own. I should not assume, but sorry, I tend to prattle when I get a little melancholy.
That's fine.
But if this vengeance is something you are in earnest of seeking, Helani, take it from one who has learned. It is a difficult journey to take it by oneself. Finding friends and allies to help you with it, though it may seem like a burden to others, would definitely ease such tensions.
I understand that it's just finding people that you can trust. That is, I guess, the issue that I am facing.
Well then, with that issue in your port, let me be at least the first to say, as of course, we have known each other only for a few short days, but I would like to extend the fact that if you do need some assistance, please feel free to ask me.
That is very kind of you, Lord Jubei.
Please, Jubei is fine when no one else is around. To be honest, the Lord thing makes me rather uncomfortable.
She kind of looks at you in like an understanding way.
But, I mean, if there is, of course, anything else you wish to be capable of, I am curious, is there any other skills you have acquired besides your ability with the blade?
Um, I um fuck. Now I'm trying to think of what my character can do.
Well, you're a rogue, so a lot.
Yeah, I'm just like, what do I say that she would say? Because I also feel like being like, "Ooh, I can sneak around and do things with thieves' tools" isn't exactly something that's like she'd say.
That's fair. That is fair. But considering the only other rogue in our party is a religious fanatic and now a vampire, should be interesting.
Yeah.
But he'll kind of look at you, waiting patiently if you see if there's anything you're going to tell, say one way or the other.
I had something and now I'm just like completely like, what was it that I was going to say? And I'm just like looking at my sheet like, I feel like it's probably right in front of my face and I'm probably just being really retarded.
Fair enough. What skills are you proficient in?
Acrobatics, double proficient in, oh yeah, because I get expertise. So normally acrobatics, nature, sleight of hand, and then I'm double proficient in survival, stealth, perception, and insight.
Okay, right there, I would say you have amazing scouting abilities.
Yeah.
Right, because perception and stealth are what a scout's all about.
For more combat and I guess military-based skills, I'm pretty good at being a scout. For other skills that would be useful elsewhere, I used to help around in the kitchen and doing the cleaning, and as much as I'd not like to admit it, but my someone that I cared about a lot said I'm a really good artist as well.
Just kind of see a fun face cross you.
Oh, you are an artist. Ha, that is quite impressive. Are you a painter or a sculptor of sorts?
Um, a little bit of a painter, but I mostly work with charcoal.
Oh, really? That is quite impressive. My artistic merit is limited at best, though I do very good origami.
She kind of chuckles at this.
But that is quite an impressive feat of skills. I would imagine you are very dexterous for your work, for your paintings, and working with your charcoal. Perhaps one day you would be willing to show me a bit of your art.
Maybe sometime.
Ah, well,
I definitely don't have something planned for next session to do with my art.
I was confused there for a second whether you were metagaming or not for that.
uh, yes. Yeah, if you ever do decide to share something, that would be most appreciated.
And he'll give once again, a bow.
I mean, each of us have our skills. Obviously, apart from my combating abilities, I tend to be myself rather talented in the arcane arts, or at least moderately so. I am nothing like Victor or Cinder, of course.
She kind of like just nods because she doesn't really know those people. Like she does, but she also hasn't talked to them.
Yeah, I know as he stops.
Oh, I am sorry. Uh, yeah, that is correct. I doubt you have met them. Victor and Cinder are both of the persuasion of wizardry. Victor is the funny little one who has the skeletons following him around all the time.
Oh, that one.
Yes, and Cinder is the rather metallic lady who runs around with a chest full of fire.
She seems quite interesting, doesn't she?
She very much is so. A good and stout-wood companion. Has helped save my life once on an occasion or two.
So they're both good with spell casting. That's something that seems to elude me a little bit, I'm afraid.
Well, it's not as if everyone in our group is a caster. Davia, for instance, and
He kind of looks around, making sure she's not around.
not that I say anything bad about Davia. She doesn't really have much of a magical bone in her body, apart from the tiefling effect of it, of course.
That wasn't what I was implying. I was just saying that I don't have much arcane knowledge.
Oh, of course. I was sorry for the misinterpretation.
As he bows again.
No. It is a fault upon my part, not on yours.
I, in any case, uh, your skill set seems to be rather useful. It would be actually quite helpful to have someone capable of scouting ahead. Our group is,
As he looks at himself in his full plate mail and kind of does a chinka chinka chinka.
not exactly the silent type for the most part.
I would be glad to lend my services.
It would be very appreciated. And of course, if we do discover and find anything as far as payment goes, equal shares amongst our rewards are always given out between our group, which of course you would be more than entitled to. And if you do wish to make a home in our little city, you can either choose to live in the palace, or perhaps we could have a home built for you in the town.
I would not want to be a burden or to be a nuisance at all.
There is no burden or nuisance for these. Yeah, I can already tell that Everin has taken a shine to you for your first meeting.
You mean when I insulted her slumber party?
Don't worry, I insulted it a bit myself, but Everin tends to see the best in people.
It's a bit foolish if you ask me, but I can't judge someone else's opinions on other people, I guess, if they want to look at it in a good light.
It's a wise words of what you say, Helani. As I say, it is her way, but I have so far found that her judgment, though sometimes erratic, is generally well founded at least.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, or is that pretty much it?
Jubei kind of rubs his chin.
Well, I
Oh,
suppose that.
that was
No,
out of character.
that was out of character. I think we got most of it. I mean, I just kind of wanted to set up and get so Jubei could understand you a little better and put out the formal invitation so it's a little more natural. Because since you've been in the group for since you've been in the castle for 3 days.
Yeah. Something.
Oh, but of course.
What do you know about this twin?
Oh, twin. Not a extreme amount. He did show up the same day you did, but we have had several meaning conversations. Uh, Twin tends to have well, um, I suppose he never told me to keep this a secret or anything, but he does, he's a cleric for,
Oh, geez, one moment. I gotta remember the name of his god.
Grave. Oh,
Hey,
oh God, fuck, I don't remember.
Estes.
Estes?
Yes.
Estes, the mistress of the dead. He's apparently a devout worshipper of her and has told me about keeping the sacred god of life and death, which apparently he has a bit more experience with than the rest of us. He told me he had actually died and was brought back to life by her.
Actually died.
As far as I'm aware, yes. In fact, he thought the same thing had happened to me, apparently.
And had it?
No, I have never died, though I may have wished I had a couple of times.
That is not a good thing to have wished.
It is not, but sometimes the world is cruel enough that you do not wish it to continue, I suppose. Sorry, I'm getting a bit melancholy again. I do have to stop doing that.
No, it's fine. I understand those feelings entirely. The world is cruel,
Yeah, indeed.
and so are some people in it.
Yes, one of them is unfortunately sleeping under our roof at the moment.
I don't know what to say.
That's fine. Jubei's just like,
If you are wondering, I'm referring to the uh, guest known as Gaston.
Why would you allow someone cruel to sleep under your roof?
Unfortunately, as far as I know, it is more of a political situation. I would have gladly, if he was not so high up in power and political influence, been more than happy to beat the living snot out of the man the moment he showed his face.
So he's like rich and powerful in like this country. Was it this country or was it the continent?
this country specifically. Just to give you quick rundown of who Gaston is, because your character might know this regardless.
Yeah, because I'm like I don't know if I know of him because it's like technically the same continent, but I also don't know
You
what the
you
influence is
you would know
elsewhere. So
him.
I'm like,
Yeah, I would say you would have to know of him just because Nano said we all did. Gaston is basically the richest man on the continent, and he is he's a war profiteer. He makes weaponry and war machines.
I would say that she would probably most definitely know who he is. I almost said she is. Um, who he is.
Yeah, exactly. So you would be aware of what kind. You might not know his personality type, but you definitely know of him, at least through
I
reputation.
probably know exactly what you said, which
It,
is he's from like he's rich and he's war and stuff and weaponry, and that's probably to the extent of what she knows, I'd imagine.
and you were at the dinner when he did announce that he may be elected as the new emperor of this country.
Yeah.
So high influence, which is the only reason my character wouldn't kill him right off the bat.
Needless to say, the man may have power and wealth, but I find him to be a rather cruel and small-minded person.
I know a few too many of that type.
Indeed. Unfortunately, he is the whole tournament around this, as you may have heard, he is trying to get a hold of Everin for himself, and we, of course, are in no way, shape, or form going to allow him to have this.
Why would he be trying to get a hold of Everin specifically?
Well, apparently, from what I understood, Everin's mother had sold her off to marriage to Gaston. Or,
Why would she do such a thing? I guess parents are cruel people too.
well, to be fair, it's not her real mother, merely her stepmother. Apparently, she is quite the cruel woman, in my opinion, but I have not met her, so I cannot be 100% certain on the factor, but the evidence is fairly overwhelming regardless.
I also don't know if Helani would know that Everin's a demigod.
I'll. I can't remember. She might have told you right off the bat. She kind of does that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember being like told that like Gaston wanted Everin like or something to do with Everin, but
Well,
like I
we'll,
don't
we'll, we'll
remember.
fix this here now too. Jubei will just say it because again, everyone doesn't give a shit, so why should he?
Yeah, and also the fact I wasn't sure if like with her fights if that would be like a very obvious thing
If she
or if
bled,
that
it
would
would
be
be
a.
because they have golden blood.
I mean, I don't think she took damage the entire fight.
That she didn't take
That's what
damage
she
the
said.
entire
So
fight, but I would say Jubei would go.
Yes, apparently, though, he is after Evelyn more for the simple sake that she is a rarity, rather for any other purpose. Uh, He kind of looks about. Not that this matters. It is a well-known fact at the moment, but Evelyn is apparently well, her mother. This is a really weird thing to say now that I'm going to say it out loud, but her mother is apparently Setsuna, goddess of the waves.
I guess that makes Twin's comment when I first arrived understandable now.
Yes. it. Most of the demigods I know. Well, Christ, I know 3 demigods now.
He says as that realization crosses his face.
When the hell did this become a common thing?
As he
Hey,
stops.
who knows? It could end up being 4 when my second character's rolled.
Oh, great. It's like we got 3 demigods. Jubei knows 3 demigods. It's like,
I know more demigods than I know humans at this point. There is something seriously wrong with the world.
but he goes,
Yes, she is a demigod, so he apparently desires her merely for that one factor. Of course, if I find him later, I would gladly trounce the man more than once for making such presumptions of Evelyn. And the things he did to her will, let us say, the moment that man is out of power, I intend to make him pay.
That is reasonable. Your kindness and caring for Evelyn is admirable.
Well, I think of her as a little sister, and I've been watching over her for the last, must be almost I guess we are close to half a year now that I have known her. But in any case, it is a trying time at the moment. We,
he's got to just kind of lean back. Go,
you might be surprised, or perhaps not, but our little motley crew here running this castle, most of us have rather difficult and extravagant backgrounds, I guess you could say.
She kind of just looks at you, waiting for you to elaborate on extravagant backgrounds.
Well, you may have been a little unconscious what occurred when Ayla apparently turned into a vampire and tried to drink the blood of Twin.
And yeah, I'm just gonna say she was unconscious because it was a thing that I feel like that whole thing would have triggered Helani, and I wasn't ready to like pretty much have Helani having a panic attack on top of that.
yeah.
I was more like, I wasn't expecting this. I was not ready for this.
Well, Jubei would tell you because he doesn't believe in lying, and even if he did, he can't.
Ayla apparently, and it is something you will need to be aware of. If you are joining us, you need to be aware of, but he apparently is affected by a sort of vampiric curse. Though, to be fair, we only discovered this yesterday.
And what countermeasures have been put into place to make sure that she doesn't hurt anyone?
At the moment, we are keeping an eye on her, of course. I myself have been able to keep a guard of her, and Bicta has. Well, Bicta is a necromancer, if you have not guessed.
Hey, Nano.
Hello.
What's up? Oh, fuck. Just so you know, Heath, work has me running all over creation this week
Okay.
with on-sites every day but Thursday.
I'll retrack. I kind of remember what I was saying because we were talking about Ayla's vampirism.
As far as the countermeasures for Ayla goes, Victor, of course, is also very useful for this. He is a necromancer and understands the undead quite well. the moment, I believe he says there is no immediate danger with Ayla. But apart from that, our group is keeping a close eye on her, of course. Estevan as well seems to be uh, well aware of the condition and doing his best to help her with it. At the moment, it does not seem uncontrollable, but we will be able to keep it together, I am certain.
And how is she faring?
Hmm. To be fair, I have not seen her since last night. She seems to be a bit rough around the edges, but I believe, I hope at least, she is able to pull herself together. But as I said, she is a kind and good person, and this is a difficult thing for her. But I'm sure we, once again, with our group together, Victor said he is going to be looking for a cure for her. Something I believe he is capable of doing, in fact.
Do we know how she had this curse put upon her, and if or were worried that it'll happen to anyone else?
Uh, hmm. I Victor told me the vampirism she had is uh, not the contagious sort. There is no way for it to bite through, spread through a bite. It
I
is
believe Esteban said it,
oh,
but that's fine.
Estevan, yes, Estevan said it is uh, un uh, it is a non-contagious version of the disease.
She just nods. But how did this occur? How?
Uh,
Jubei's going to look a little.
Perhaps she does not know how she got this disease, but there is a bit of her past which I am sorry to say may not be for me to say completely, but regardless, she did come from a rather horrible childhood, and it is my belief that what that childhood led to this unfortunate event.
As he kind of looks and goes,
I feel like my character should be sad, but I'm kind of laughing right now, and I'm just like, this is conflicting.
you're like,
Oof.
in that case, Jubei's kind of looking over and goes,
It is a tough thing for her, but I'm certain with us together we will be able to uh, make sure nothing unfortunate occurs.
I imagine it would be especially tough for her, especially given her trauma through her childhood.
Indeed. Uh, but aside from that, is there anyone else you were curious about from our little group?
I'm just gonna say one more thing based on Ayla first.
Oh, of course.
If there's anything that you need me to do to help with Ayla and her situation, don't be afraid to ask.
That is most appreciated. We will keep that in mind. It is always possible that we could very well use you in the future for such a matter. But is there anyone else you are curious about? If you, after all, you are intending to stick around with us, I suppose it is only fair you gather the information you need.
I'm just like trying to think through the characters right now. I'm just like,
you got Victor,
feel
Yeah.
like the only other person that should ask about would probably be Cass, but you also don't really know much about Cass at the same time as well.
Yeah, I know nothing about Cass because Cass came the same day as you did.
Well, in any case, I'm glad we were able to have this conversation, Helani. It was very enlightening.
Yes, it was very nice. Thank you for giving me your time. I'm sure that you have a lot of lordly duties to attend to.
Uh, Please don't remind me of those.
I'm sorry.
It is okay. This is, as I said, this Lord thing was more or less thrust upon me versus something I actually desired to take.
Then are you looking to find someone more suitable for the job that is willing to have it?
Well, at the moment, Evelyn will be. I am hoping Evelyn will take it over when she is ready for it. She has the blood of leadership in her. I unfortunately have the blood of the warrior in me.
I hope that works out for you. You seem to care about her a lot.
As I said, I think of Evelyn as a little sister. And honestly, to be frank, I care about everybody in this group. At the moment, they are the closest thing I've had to a family in a long time.
Helani just kind of looks like melancholy at that.
Jubei will kind of notice that, kind of smile, and goes,
Of course, Helani, if you do wish to join us, I would imagine that sooner or later you would fit in right in with us all.
One would hope.
Indeed. But in any case, I suppose after such a good workout and a, you know, uh, fulfilling conversation, breakfast may be in order, hey?
That would be really nice.
Then let us head off.
Especially after you fucking just deleted her.
God, don't feel bad. He's done it to every party member. As he looks up, goes,
In any case, we'll head off to the kitchen. I mean, we have the our great little cook Avis cooking a hearty breakfast right now, I am certain.
So Avis is
the little guy.
Evren's old character.
Yeah, Averin was Everin's